Hi everyone! Today we're going to be colouring in this item here. Now this is from Worlds of Wonder by Johanna Basford, and we're going to be using Polychromos pencils again because they've got a nice range of colours. Now this is a spring onion as far as I'm aware, so we are going to be using some sorts of green colours. Now this bulby bit is white. These bits are brown and this is green, and I've got a photo on my screen and I'm going to see how closely I can match it up to the picture. So I'm going to start with my permanent green olive for the stalky parts. Now what happens with these green bits is that they tend to be darker at the top than at the bottom. I'm going to start by just colouring these bits in just with an even layer, and we'll add some different colouring in a minute, but this bit just gonna fade it down because it goes down into the green, into the bulby bit. So just gonna add a little bit like that. So it's just a little bit of green on the top. Now these bits, as I say, they're darker on the top than the bottom, but we've also got these bits where they sort of meet each other, which would be darker. So I'm just going to emphasize those bits with this green, like that. But I'm going to get a different colour to do the tips. Sorry, the page is not holding down. I wanted more intense, darker green. I think I'm going to go for the Juniper Green and just go into the tips with a little touch. So starting with lots of layers at the top and just reducing it down. Excuse me. It's a long time since I've eaten any spring onions. I don't eat onions that often actually. These are the type, I think you might call them salad onions in some countries. These are the type you'd put in your salad. Now this bottom part is a sort of, excuse me, a very pale, beigey, dead type looking colour. This sounds a bit weird, I know. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a very pale brown, this one here. This is I'm just trying to check what it is. I think this is Bistre, but I'm not sure. And I'm going to go all over this with it. Now, this doesn't look very like a root because I've just blocked it over. But what I'm now going to do is to grab my white. I'm just going to push it up a bit so you can see because the page doesn't want to stay. And go over those black bits of stalk with the white. And I'm hoping that what that will do is make the brown look like it's little rooty bits with white bits of paper in between. It may just not work. No, it hasn't worked at all. It just looks like a white splodge over the whole thing. It's rather disappointing. Now I'm going to wait for that white to dry. Whoops, cover that up. And add some more brown. Now these little dots on the onion, I'm just looking, sometimes they have a little tiny streak or line of green. So that's what I'm going to do with those. So I'm going to grab the permanent green olive again and just go over these with this. Simply like that. Now the onion is definitely white. It's not cream, it's white. So I'm going to grab my white. The Polychromos white isn't always that good at showing up on the page, but we're going to have a go and just colour all this in white. I'm not going to go over the black outline because I don't want to try and white it out across the whole of the item because I don't think it's necessarily going to work. So we're just going to go in here with the white, and because the paper's cream it may show up, but it just may not. We'll see. So we just I'm really only doing this to pass the time while I'm waiting for the brown to dry. I'm going to sharpen up the brown, the Bistre, a little bit. Now what that might do is fleck off the flake off the white, but it might be okay. Oh, there we go. I've got it nice and sharp. It's very difficult to sharpen. It's very small. Right. So now I'm going to just go through with my sharp one and put some rooty bits in. There. It's a little bit yellowy, a little bit too dark, but I just haven't got a closer colour. So I think I'm going to make that do. So it's a really, really quickie. Let's put it down so you can see all of it. But I think it looks quite like a spring onion. It doesn't look photorealistic, of course. That isn't my style. But hopefully that's helped you know what to do with that little bit of the picture. So thank you so much for watching and happy colouring.